Have you ever asked yourself, why do you know exactly what to do? You have the map, you understand the logic, you've read the books, watched the videos, taken the courses, and yet you remain frozen in the exact same spot. Why is it that you have the detailed, step-by-step map in your hands, but your feet just refuse to move? Today, we are going to dive deep and answer that question. We're going to talk about the massive, frustrating gap between knowing and doing, between knowledge and action. If you are tired of knowing all the answers but still getting the same old results, if you're tired of being the smartest person in the room who is also the most broke or the most knowledgeable about health while still feeling unhealthy, then listen very, very closely. This isn't just another motivational talk. We're going to get to the root of the problem and, more importantly, the solution. At every single moment, you are a broadcasting station. Think of yourself like a powerful radio tower, sending out signals 24/7. These signals, what we call thoughts, are frequencies you're sending out into the universe. And the universe, it's nothing but a giant, impartial mirror. It doesn't judge, it doesn't question. It simply responds to your signal by sending back conditions, events, people, and ideas that match exactly what you sent out. Send out a signal of lack, you get back experiences of lack. Send out a signal of opportunity, and opportunities appear. It's a fundamental law, like gravity. But here's the crucial part. Where do these thoughts come from? They don't just appear out of nowhere. They are the product of your inputs. What are you feeding your mind on a daily basis? What are you looking at when you scroll through your phone? What are you listening to on your commute? What did society tell you was realistic or possible for someone like you? What did your parents repeat to you over and over again when you were growing up? All of these things, social media, conversations, childhood experiences are inputs. Now, imagine a single drop of water. That's a thought. By itself, it doesn't do much. But when you have drop after drop after drop, repeated in the same spot, it starts to wear away stone. In the same way, when a thought enters your mind and gets repeated, either by you or by your environment, it starts to harden. It goes from a fleeting idea to a solid conviction. It becomes a belief. And once a belief is formed, it takes the captain's chair of your mind. It sits in the control room and starts directing everything. It filters your perception of reality and controls all your other thoughts. A belief like I am not good with money will generate thousands of thoughts to support it. I can't afford that. Investing is too risky for me. I'll never get out of debt. A belief like, I'm not lovable will generate thoughts that cause you to misinterpret a friendly gesture as pity, or a delayed text message as rejection. And since your beliefs determine the frequency you broadcast, they ultimately determine the reality you experience. So, the whole game, the entire journey of personal transformation, is about changing your beliefs. That is the entire story. If you can change the core beliefs, you change the signal. When you change the signal, the reflection in the mirror has no choice but to change too. But I know you. I know you're smart. You probably don't have a question about the theory. You've heard this before, in one form or another. You know the theory. The only question that truly matters right now, the one that keeps you up at night, is how? How do I actually act on what I know? How do I bridge this gap? So let's get practical. How do you change a belief that's been running your life for decades? You don't fight it head on. Fighting a belief just reinforces it. You don't try to use willpower to think positive when your entire being is screaming the opposite. That's like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. Eventually, you get tired, and it shoots back up with even more force. The secret is to introduce a new, competing idea and starve the old one. You have to build a new belief that is more compelling, more exciting, and more aligned with who you want to become. And you do this through two primary methods: controlled input and deliberate action. First, controlled input. You must become a ruthless gatekeeper for your mind. Unfollow the accounts that make you feel inadequate. Stop listening to the news that makes you feel powerless and afraid. Mute the cynical friends who laugh at your ambitions. You have to consciously and intentionally replace those negative inputs with positive, empowering ones. You need to immerse yourself in a new environment. This isn't a one-time thing. It's a daily practice. Just like you shower every day to clean your body, You need to practice mental hygiene every day to clean your mind of the junk that society throws at it. 5 minutes of a powerful audio in the morning is more effective than a 2-hour seminar once a year. Consistency is the key. Second, and this is the part that ties it all together, is deliberate action. Knowledge plus action creates experience, and experience is what truly cements a belief. You can read 100 books about swimming, but you won't truly believe you can swim until you get in the water and feel yourself float. You must start taking small, almost laughably small, actions that align with your desired new belief. If you want to believe you're a healthy person, don't start by promising to run a marathon. Start by drinking 1 extra glass of water today, or go for a 10-minute walk. That's it. When you do that, you get a little bit of evidence. Your brain says, okay, I did a healthy thing. Maybe I am a little bit healthy. The next day you do it again. And maybe you add one more healthy choice. You eat an apple instead of chips. Now, you have more evidence. These small wins are deposits in your new belief bank account. Each action is a vote for the new identity you want to create. If you want to believe you're a successful entrepreneur, don't try to build a billion-dollar company overnight. Start by registering a domain name, or writing 1 paragraph of your business plan, or making 1 sales call. Even if you're terrified, the outcome of the action doesn't matter as much as the act of taking it. The action itself sends a powerful signal to your subconscious mind. This is who I am now. The old belief will fight back. Your mind will give you 1,000 reasons why you should stop. It will say this is pointless. You're just fooling yourself. You'll fail anyway. This is the critical moment. This is where most people quit. They listen to that voice of doubt, the echo of the old belief, and they stop. But you have to see that voice for what it is, a dying echo. It's the old programming trying to maintain control. Your job is to simply notice it, and then gently redirect your focus back to the small, deliberate action in front of you. This is the real work. It's not glamorous. It's not a magic pill. It's a process of consciously choosing your inputs and taking small, consistent actions, day after day, until the weight of the evidence becomes so overwhelming that the new belief takes hold. The new belief becomes the captain of the ship. And when that happens, action is no longer a struggle. It becomes automatic. It becomes effortless. Your feet finally start moving in the direction your map has been pointing all along. What is the one small input you can change today? What is the one tiny action you can take in the next 10 minutes that aligns with the person you want to become? Imagine I sit you down at a piano. I tell you, look, these keys correspond to these notes. To play this specific masterpiece, you must hit these keys in this exact order. Now you have the knowledge. You know the theory. But does that mean you can play the music? No. When you play the note depends on your practice. It depends on your repetition. It goes back to your passion, your enthusiasm. I want you to understand that the goal is action. That tiny piece of information you understood yesterday, act on it today. I promise you, if you act on what you already know, the next answer will be given to you. You don't need to know step 10. You just need to play the note for step 1. Here's the secret. When you connect to the source, you become guided. This isn't mystical mumbo-jumbo. It is a mechanism. You have a question, and the source provides the answer. How many times has this happened to you? You have a burning question in your mind, and suddenly, you hear the answer from a 5-year-old child. You get into a taxi, and the driver says a sentence that solves your problem. You are scrolling through a website, and the text jumps out at you. It is never random. This is guidance. My goal is for your faith in this intelligence to be so strong that you stop worrying about the how. You just say, guide me on this path. But pay attention. This is where most people get lost. There are questions that are the essence. They move you forward. And there are questions that are the fringe. They make you lost. Questions like, what is the soul made of? Did the chicken come first or the egg? How exactly does electricity travel through the wire? Knowing how electricity works doesn't help you turn on the switch. Intelligent people differentiate between the essence and the fringe. I progressed because I stopped asking questions that had no practical answers. I don't care how the frequency works. I care that it does work. I look at the result. If I fear something, it happens. That's the result. I don't need to know the mechanics of the dimension where that is processed. I just need to stop fearing. Focus on what changes your life now. Let's talk about money. Years ago, even when I was earning high salaries, I was always broke. Money felt like it had thorns. If I had money in my account, I felt anxious. I had to spend it. I had to lend it to someone. My wealth bucket had a hole in it. Subconsciously, I wasn't comfortable with having, so I did an exercise, and we are going to do it right now. I want you to pause this video right now. Yes, really, go get your wallet. Or open your banking app. Look at the money you have. Do you feel an urge to spend it? Do you feel anxiety looking at it? Or do you feel peace? Don't watch the rest of this video until you have looked at your own relationship with money. Here is what I did. I took a high-value bill, a significant amount for me at the time, and I put it in my wallet, and I swore to myself, no matter what happens, I will not spend this Primera. Told myself if a gunman comes and says, "Give me your wallet," I will fight him for this specific bill. It sounds insane. Why risk it for paper? It wasn't about the paper. It was about fixing a broken belief. I had to prove to my subconscious that I am a person who keeps money. I kept it for a month. I fought the temptation to spend it on junk. Then I added another bill. Then another. This is how I built my tolerance for wealth. I evolved from being comfortable with zero to being comfortable with thousands. If you cannot be friends with money sitting idle in your pocket, it will never stay with you. And finally, the most important lesson on commitment. When most people want to buy something new, a house, a business, what is their first thought? They immediately look backward. They prepare a retreat. If I can't afford it, I'll sell what I already have. Do you realize what you are doing? You are planning for failure before you even begin. You have accepted that you cannot create new value, so you must cannibalize your old value. When I want something new, I have a red line. I do not sell my assets to buy new ones. I never think, even for 1%, oh, I'll sell this to buy that. Because I refuse to look back, I am forced to look forward. It's like the old joke. A man is asked, if a shark attacks you in the middle of the ocean, what do? He says, I climb a tree. They say, there are no trees in the ocean. He replies, I would be forced to find one. When you have no option to retreat, your mind creates miracles. If you know a path is wrong, close it. Don't wait for the right path to open before you close the wrong one. So, stop the excuses. I have a family. It's the economy. It's my geography. Everyone has all those excuses. If you are waiting for a bag of money to fall from the sky while you sit at home working on your beliefs, you're delusional. Success is simple. It is the repetition of basic, correct actions. Don't justify your inaction. Don't ask questions about the fringe. Start where you are. Use what you have. Take the first step. Faith that does not bring action is nothing but a delusion.